Hello gang, and welcome to Displaying Model Behavior. You know what this is. It is the Earth's mightiest video podcast with a whole bunch of mighty news. I was going to do a single episode of good news, but some of these stories are so big, they deserve their own videos. First of all, today, I want to cover the brand new reveal of Mattel's DC figures that are going to be coming out later on this year. This is some big news that I felt was just slyly like, oh yeah, just one more thing. They Columboed us. I thought there was going to be a big boom, this is it, press release, bam, look at all our beautiful glamour shots. And instead it's just like, oh yeah, we got these on display too. You guys are playing coy with us. So, of course, we had the rumors and the scuttlebutt that the first wave was going to be Batman, Flash, Robin, and the Joker. That's exactly what we've got on display here, as well as Deathstroke, the Terminator as well. I was about to say Wade Wilson, would have shown my ignorance there. Slade Wilson, and Jon Stewart, and another Batman, and another Superman on top of that. Don't worry, I get to those as well. So this is probably, and this is where the speculation comes in, this is probably the more child-friendly line of figures that Mattel are going to be doing. This is what they announced previous to revealing these images, was that they were going to do different tiers of figures, which is kind of cool. So they were going to do one that was more children-friendly, parent-friendly, that were going to be a little bit cheaper, and then folks could buy for their kids for random presents and birthdays and this and that. They weren't going to have to take out a second mortgage on their house just to get a couple of action figures. But that does mean we're going to have the more high-end ones for us highfalutin collectors who are happy to go without meals every now and then if it means that we can complete our teams. Honestly, I have no problem with that. But if this is the budget-friendly children's line that we're seeing, this is very encouraging because looking at these pictures, I was very impressed. It wasn't until further scrutiny and also reading some comments under the pictures that I put two and two together and made five, and then someone corrected me and told me it was four, and I was like, okay, yeah, that does make sense. This probably is the cheaper line. You can see they've got some nice modern articulation, pinless, double-jointed knees, probably double-jointed elbows, but if you look closely, doesn't seem to be much in the way of torso and ab articulation. So that might lead us to believe that this is the cheaper, more budget line for kids, which is also a good thing because I was looking at some of the face sculpts, particularly on the Flash, less so the sculpt, but more the paint. And I felt it looked a little bit plasticky, a little bit cheap. Of course, it's so difficult to tell with these images here where it's just like a picture of a picture, not the best lighting, and you can't really tell that great, but it still gives you a chance to get a hint, or at least a hint of an idea. And I was a little bit underwhelmed, and then I thought, no, that's okay. These are going to be the kids' money, budget-friendly ones, so we shouldn't have to worry about that. Because going through, looking from the left, from Deathstroke, I love the proportions, the size. I mean, these straight up look like Marvel Legends, just without the super high detailed, nice face sculpts and the extra articulation. But just looking at the dynamic proportions of the body, these look straight up like Hasbro Legends. And look, if a company is doing something well, there's no, it's not copying. It's just, it would be stupid to be like, no, we're going to do it this way instead to be different. No, do it the way that people like it. Todd McFarlane learned that lesson. Well, actually, I think he didn't learn that lesson. That was the problem. What's really exciting about this reveal, or partial reveal, is that they are showing off way more figures than we were initially expecting, or at least than I was. First of all, there's a Jon Stewart Green Lantern. How about that? Really cool to see, and already we're not just going for the A-list JLA DC movie universe type characters, we're going deeper into the comics. That's what I think a lot of us were hoping they were going to be doing, and they're not wasting any time with it. When they announced that their first wave was going to be Batman, Superman, Joker, Robin, I was thinking, okay, are we just going to get the big guns? But now if we're going a bit deeper already, that's fantastic. And there's no disrespect to Jon Stewart. I mean, he had an amazing run in the animated JLA show, but it's just cool to see him getting the spotlight before even Hal Jordan. And speaking of more, not obscure, but just different looks and choices, we've got the more modern version of Batman as well. And this is one that, again, I thought, this looks a little bit cheaper, a little bit more kid-friendly, but then again, that's probably what this line is. Me personally, I really don't like the yellow line Batman logo, but that's just an aesthetic choice on my part. Looking at the figure, I mean, with the whole black bodysuit, it's got a big old bang of Tim Burton Batman, so I kind of love that. But, and already I can see the complaints. We haven't even got the first wave out yet, and already we've got multiple Batman figures. Yeah, get used to that. There are some things that never change. Death, taxes, and multiple Batman figures. And also, of course, on this top row, we've got Superman as well, the Man of Steel. And also, we don't know what kind of accessories these figures are going to have. Are they just going to be, boom, again, budget? That's it. That's all you're getting. Are they going to have different head sculpts, different hands? I don't know. I'm guessing that maybe this might just be it. Keep the price down, make them available and accessible for younger kids and collectors. Honestly, I think that'd be great. Don't add costs where you don't need to. Just give people the basic figures. I think that's a great approach to go with. So for Superman, at least with the body, and even though it's only a picture, it gives me a big bang of 90s JLA style Superman for whatever reason. If he has a big mullet, then we'll know that's what the inspiration was. Then going down to the bottom row, we've discussed Deathstroke the Terminator. Then we got the Joker. And the Joker, this is another one where I feel like you can't really see any torso articulation, but that's okay. I'll forgive that if this is the budget line. Because the Joker grinning face, like, sculpt looks good. I like it. Very, very cool. And of course, with the Joker, you've got Batman, and it's classic Batman as well. My favorite look for the character, with the blues and the grays and the yellows. This is Batman for me. And it's a great counterpart to have with the more modern look as well. So this one, again, pretty cool. Don't know if he's going to have a sneering face or if it's just the plain one. If it is, that's okay. But this gives us another good look at the dynamic sort of posing you can do with the figure, even if it is limited in the torso. But heck, I just paid $100 for a SH Figure Art Scarlet Spider, and that doesn't have torso articulation either. So, I'll happily get a cheaper figure with no torso articulation. I won't lament it too much. Then there's a modern Robin. And this also shows, good to see, a little bit of diversity in the size of the sculpt as well. We have this younger type character body as well. So hopefully they're going to do the full gamut. Big, small, fat, thin, short, tall, all different types and ranges of figures. And then finally there's the Flash. And the Flash is the one that gave me a little bit of pause for thought. Because I thought, hang on a second, this looks a little bit cheap. But then again, if this is the cheaper picture, well, not going to edit that. If this is the cheaper range of figures, then that's okay. We can always save our money to get the collector ones in 2027. Again, if this is the budget line, that's a lovely thing to see. So these are going to be coming out, as I said, later in the year. And then the more adult-focused collector ones should be coming out in 2027. So we're still going to have a wait for them. But I love the fact that we can slowly sort of move into the Mattel line. And while I was griping and grumbling, or at least lamenting, that we didn't get a big glossy reveal, I kind of love the way sometimes that information is piecemealed out to us, because it means that it's more of a fun journey to follow along and gradually see things revealed. It's like following the production of a movie, and you see some behind the scenes images, then some concept art, then this and that, and eventually you get this full picture. So roll on the fall of this year, or the autumn, as we call it here in the UK, when these are going to be released and released. Hopefully, they should be, as long as everything moves in the timeline that they're saying. And I think that this is going to be a real great reset for DC collectors, and myself included. I think when it comes to the adult collector-focused figures, I might just want to jump in right from the start and be like, you know what? I'm not that big of a DC guy, but I'm becoming more of a DC guy. So let's do this thing. Let's jump on in at the ground floor and start collecting these figures. Because if this is the budget line, then with the new one that's going to be more in style of their, well, I assume, going to be more in the style of their WWE Ultimates figures, with multiple heads, like, you know, the comic book equivalent of face scan style technology for the head sculpts, maybe even some soft goods like they do with their Ultimates figures. Oh, there could be some real showpiece type products coming from Mattel. So this is a lovely way to whet my appetite and definitely gets me excited to see what they're going to be doing in the future. So guys, what do you think about this initial reveal? Comment below and let me know. And until next time, keep displaying model behavior.
Abracadabra!